be 10 years ago. It's Strawberry Fields Soliloquy. A pretty face will last a year or two, but pretty soon they'll see what you can do. I read that in the last interview he did, that lyric was meant to be a written form of vindication. Because like he and Paul McCartney were feuding over whatever, I can't remember anymore, but as far as I'm concerned, it's lyrics like that that raised me. Social commentary put to music. That's what I used to rely on whenever I needed like a real parenting advice, because, well, as long as we're being honest here, my parents were basically useless. I grew up raising myself off of the countless lines I'll always remember from my father's record collection. Back in the 70s, I can remember my parents choosing very different majors while they were in graduate school, and then just disposing of each other not long after that. When they got divorced, it was as if the earth just opened up and divided. And Mom was on one side, and Dad was on the other side, and I fell like Alice in Wonderland down the crack in the middle, taking with me everything I had come to know as trust and basically my concept of the world as I thought I knew it. So here I am, growing up in the ruins of the summer of love, the same summer I was born in, that made my parents feel as if they had been liberated from their childhoods, wound up being the summer that would shackle them to mine. So I guess I placed an unreasonable amount of attachment on the only thing my father left behind, which was his record collection. I used those black vinyl revolutions of music by turning them into the voice I missed and the advice I needed. "Give me some truth," he said. "I'm sick and tired of watching scenes from schizophrenic, egocentric, paranoid prima donnas." Well, after I heard that, I was almost disappointed when puberty decided to strike, and I blossomed into this, which I wrote 18 years ago. I mean, hadn't the lyrics that had become my father taught me to be more than just a hole in a heartbeat? I didn't know. I didn't have any answers to questions like that, and I didn't have anyone to ask. I just felt really lost. At the time, and I don't know why, but it seemed totally reasonable back then to go to Liverpool. Where else was I going to find him? I mean, my real father just doesn't love me the way I love him, and once I got there, I figured out that Liverpool is the kind of city that really only makes sense if you're dysfunctional and you're 19. It's like a war zone with women and children, and really cute boys with some of the best hash I've ever smoked. I don't know if I fell for the spliffs or the guy, but in any case, we got married. After the wedding, I pulled your typical new bride routine, which means I went about trying to change everything about Tommy that made me fall in love with him in the first place, and that lasted, a little less than a year. After that, money got really tight, and Tommy went back to his old ways again, trying to make a living, and for me, that meant that was the end of that. So, Daddy, I feel like I owe you an apology now, because your lyrics taught me to strive for intelligent alternatives, to do more than just stop traffic. But I don't know. I guess I stopped too. I settled. You said they torture and scare you for 20-odd years, and then they expect you to pick a career. Were you talking about your generation or mine? Because yours broke all the rules. So what am I supposed to go by? And it's just so easy to do this, you know? I tell my customers to imagine there really is a heaven, though still no hell below us. And when I dance, I try to show them that I can be their angel, and that heaven is within the embrace of my arms and my legs. All they have to do is close their eyes, and they can be there. I mean, I try to be just like you, man. I try to sell it just like you did. I want to be everything you were when I'm up there. You were larger than life. You were the scarce on the billboard. You were my epiphany when I was a child, because your lyrics showed me that there was a world beyond the mundane bullshit of my parents and step-parents tried to pass off on me as life. Now I finally have my own spotlight, and I know this isn't exactly what you wanted, but I'm standing here feeling like This would be about when I really would need you the most, and I can hear the audience, and I still feel so terribly all alone. Daddy, they really believe that just by my touching their faces or smiling at them, that I'm giving them a little piece of my soul. Is that what I'm doing? Was that what it was like for you? How did you ever have anything left? It's so draining. I mean, I've gotten used to pushing them all away. I understand that's part of the game. But the only one I regret having lost touch with is my husband. It's a weird twist of irony, don't you think? You were the Scouser who was everyone's icon. And now I'd settle just to be my Scouser's epiphany. Or anybody's for that matter.
Wow. Wow.